Hi, my name is Angela Denny, and today we're speaking with a professional who has been trained by the Institute for Family Professionals, also known as IFP. IFP is a program of Lakeside Educational Network, which provides ongoing training to family professionals who serve children and family systems in the greater Philadelphia region. Our hangout today is co-sponsored by Lakeside and the United Way of Greater Philadelphia and Southern New Jersey. So today we are speaking with Jamila. How are you, Jamila?
I'm great. How are you? Yeah.
I'm good, thanks. Thank you so much for being with us. And we were just wondering if you can share who you work for and what your clientele is like that you serve.
Sure. So I work for Achievability. We're a nonprofit based in the West Philadelphia area. We work with low-income single-parent families, helping them to obtain self-sufficiency. So working with the parents, we also work with their families, their children who are ages 0 to 18 years old. About a third of our families come directly out of a shelter or transitional housing program, and the rest come from what we consider to be substandard living conditions. So our families have really gone through and experienced trauma in the form of domestic violence, poor parenting role modeling. Maybe they are experiencing substance abuse issues or grew up with parents that were experiencing substance abuse issues, and we're really just trying to help them get back on track. And we believe the best way to do that is to help them stabilize their housing with affordable rent and pairing them with a self-sufficiency coach who works with them in 4 different areas: education, parenting, finance, and personal development.
Wow. That is amazing. That's awesome. So in serving those clientele, Jamila, can you tell us, I understand that you have taken about 3 IFP classes or are currently taking 3 IFP classes. So if you can speak on those classes as to what stuck out to you and what best served those that you're serving.
Sure. So currently I'm enrolled in Essential Communications, Basic Principles and Approaches, and Enhancing Trauma Awareness. So all come with a rich course curriculum that includes 3 books that we're reading and provide varying perspectives on what you're learning. So it's not just the teacher's perspective, it's different theories and practices that are available right now for us to put into practical use. I will say a theme between the 3 courses that I would say has been the most influential was understanding the iceberg, that the IFP iceberg, which you learn in each class fundamental concepts, and knowing that the person that you're working with and interacting with has a lot going on the inside, which may be what you're experiencing on the outside, and that there may be a disconnect. So understanding that if someone comes into my office frustrated, whether it's a participant, a staff member, that there may be a trigger or some situation that caused them to get to that current emotional state, but there's normally a lot more going on underneath the surface that I need to be cognizant of. And so that's forced me to become more patient, to be more detailed, and to give and allow individuals that I'm interacting with to have the space to have those emotions. And also just being more aware and not to take that personally. And then passing that learning on to my staff member that, if you have a challenging interaction with a participant, let's talk through that and let's talk about what we can do to improve it. And let's see if we can kind of get to the root issue so that we can make sure that you don't have that interaction again. The second concept I would say that's been pretty influential for me is the active listening. I thought I understood active listening, but it was not until I started going through the 7 hats of healthy communication and really detailed into active listening and realized that what I was doing, I would say IFP would call rescuing. So I would look at the person, I would have great eye contact, I would, nod my head, but the whole time I was questioning them and explaining and helping them to problem solve. And really that person just needed me to listen, which was really the one thing that I wasn't doing at that point. So I think understanding how important it is to really have someone feel that they are heard, especially with our families who have gone through and experienced systems, families, schools, and places where they have not had a chance to be heard. And tying that back to the iceberg model, understanding that I'm helping to warm and build up that or rebuild that iceberg by giving them positive communication interactions. So active listening has been really a huge concept that has kind of changed even just the way that I manage, the way that I interact with the participants, the way that we even try to form some of our policies, and that we've incorporated their voice into more of what we're doing. But understanding that when someone comes to us and, if they really just need to be active listened to how you do that process, which takes a lot of thought and awareness, and is not about me, and really becomes focused more about that person and what their needs are, and really helping to meet those. I think also one other piece that helped in learning this concept was that there were practical strategies that you learned through the process. So for instance, we got a list of helpful sentence starters for active listening. So I find myself sometimes, referring to a couple of the lists and saying, it sounds like, or paraphrasing, and using those tools very effectively, very easily, because I've been given this great guide to help implement those skills in my daily behavior.
Yeah, that's amazing, that active listening. I think often we think we are good listeners, and when you go through that training and learn, it's kind of like not so much. So that's really a neat skill to pick up. So then also, what would you say as far as the IFP training that compared to other training you might have had, professional development training, how do you think that the IFP training has been different or more valuable?
Sure. I think there are a couple of key ways that IFP stands out. One would be professionalism. Just the contact that I've had with the administrators, with the staff. They're on time, they're courteous, very great communication. We were having our class during a winter season that was pretty rough on Philadelphia, so communicating when classes would be rescheduled, and making sure that we were all aware of those changes. Nurturing. Every class is about nurturing the nurturer, understanding the needs of those working in the nonprofit social service field, and understanding that there are a bunch of caretakers sitting in the class who aren't used to being taken care of. So it's really nice when someone makes coffee or comes, gives you a pat on the back and say, hey, how's it going, and genuinely interested on what happened during the last 2 weeks and how you're growing. So I really found that part to be helpful, and I think building confidence and rapport, and also those are skills that I'm now, learned through modeling, that I'm using with my staff. Ground rules. We had ground rules, and then I saw some of the IFP, and I was like, oh, I think some of those ground rules should be in our team meetings. So different parts, establishing a sense of safety, and that anyone, any opinion is welcome, any thought is welcome, creating a space where no one's going to feel questioned or attacked, and just a very supportive environment, and maintaining the safety, which can be difficult when you have people of different age ranges, diverse backgrounds, and coming from different agencies. So just having those standards, again, leading back to the professionalism. I would also say just the level of coursework is also a differentiator. I've been to a couple of one-day trainings, and I really like that the training meets every 2 weeks. So you're getting a little bit at a time that you can go back and practice, as opposed to going to a training for 1 day or 2 days or a week, and the first month you're doing really good, but it starts to kind of fall to the wayside. And having kind of this training spread out over several weeks has allowed me to better integrate it into daily practices at work.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's great. We are so glad that you had the opportunity to take these classes, Jamila, and I really thank you for sharing your candidness and walking us through the benefits of the IFP training to you. So thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Angela.
You bet. So for more information regarding IFP, you can visit us at ifpros.net, and you can like us on our Facebook page at the Institute for Family Professionals. Thanks so much today for your interest in IFP. It's Angela Denny, and we're signing off for now. Thanks.